This is Dr. Srinivasan, Assistant Professor in Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering. I'm going to present this topic on application of physics in industrial automation. Hope I'm not going to cover the entire thing because automation is a big topic. Normally we do cover in one semester. So I would like to start with a small introduction about cooking of food. Okay, for example, you start with idli. Normally, in the home, we start the early morning food with idli or dosa. So, to prepare idli or dosa, you need the raw material and the process. The raw material is going to be the rice flour and the water and the salt, and is mixed as a flour, okay, and it's in a semi-fluid state. So that fluid, what you're going to do, you're going to pour into a pan and you're going to keep it in an oven, okay, it may be a stove. So you boil the fluid, so as such the temperature and the time is maintained. After some time what we do, we check the idli. How you check the idli? Just by pressing to check whether it is boiled or not. Again you cover the lid and you take out the idli. So this is the process, okay. Process can be anything, okay. Automation, why I'm talking idli is to, it's related to automation. How? Now the OMR, that is Old Mahabalipuram Road, is flooded with IT parks, okay. Of course, due to COVID scenario, people are at home. But if you see way back before March, everyone will be rushing to their offices before 8 o'clock because of the traffic congestion. And as they enter, they have to be served with their food because many are not afford to do or prepare their food and carry the food with them. So naturally, they go to cafeteria. I do remember one of my friend, he used to say, for one serving, he is a food specialist. I think he used to tell the number something around roughly 10,000 idlis. You remember, you believe it or not, 10,000 idlis per serving. So, to prepare a output of idli, you require this much input. Okay, to prepare an idli, you require an amount of input, and this has to be controlled. Okay, that has to be controlled. So idli just pour and leave it. You cannot just keep. So after 10 minutes, normally you used to just open. But when you go for a large number of quantity, you cannot think of opening it. So you need to program it. So what the temperature has to be set, and what is the time it has to be in the boiler. Okay, because these steam boilers, if you think of that many quantities, okay, your temperature, you need to think of your safety, okay, when you use boilers, because as the temperature increases in water, water comes with water vapor. So at one point of time, your pressure increases inside the boiler. So your safety is important, okay. You need a safe environment. What is the things are here coming? Your productivity means the efficiency of your product, what you are going to take out from the process, and the safety of the environment, and the person. How many persons? Just think of just taking 20 idlis, you require not only one person, somebody has to take the flour, somebody has to cook, somebody has to remove the idli. It's an art, okay? Preparing idli is an art. It's not that easy, okay? So with this introduction, I'm just going to the presentation. So we'll see the overview of the lecture is, we are going to see, I'm not going to stress upon the physics because physics, everyone know, physics is a natural science. It is, if even you and me are not there, there is going to be physics. How? The universe is made out of water and land, okay? Even there is no existence of human being, there is going to be water and land, and there is going to be light, okay? It's definite, it's definite. What are indefinite? The human beings are indefinite because we have a lifespan. But land and water doesn't have any lifespan. People are talking about going to Mars, going to moon, okay, to see how we can live there. So how it is possible? All because of this technology of automation. Automation is just a technology with the foundation of physics. Foundation of physics. If I want to travel from, I'm sitting here in Oman, I am presenting this lecture. It is going to India, and there are people connected over Singapore, and India is not one point. So, we need to integrate this point of receiver, okay. So, how this can be possible? This is by telecommunication technology. When I talk about telecommunication technology, you need to talk on the light, the acoustics, because light is very important. If you want me to see here, I need to have an ambient lighting, okay. If I do switch off the light, I am going to present what I am going to, you can see a dark man, okay. I am going to be a dark person or an invisible person, but you will get acoustics because the sound. So, what is the sound is a basic physics, okay. How I am audible? So, how I am audible? I am talking through a mic, okay. I am talking through a mic. Mic is a sensor. So, this mic is taken to a controller where you amplify the signal and the speaker. I am not getting the speaker here because I am just talking. So, my voice is going to the mic and you people are receiving at your speaker. So, what happens? The amplification is done. How? You are doing the amplification. I am not doing. So, anybody can control a process. That is what automation has given to us. Anybody can control. Anybody can control, and that depends on how much you want the volume. You can increase or decrease the sound. Okay. So, there is a control. So, for that, how this is possible? This is because of the electronics. Okay, and electric. First is electricity, then we talk about electronics, where the first thing what is evolved is your FET, field effect transistor. Okay, and I am not going to the electronics fully because basically we are into mechanical engineering, but I try to stress upon here and there. Okay, so and I am sitting in front of a computer. Okay, I am able to present means I have a screen, a computer as a hardware. Okay, you can see it as an electronic. You can see it as an electronic hardware. I can see it as a mechanical component because it has its material. We need a material property. I cannot make the computer with a steel because it's very heavy. So, we need to make the computer as much lighter as possible. This is where the material magnesium has come, which I am working with. And the sound or the velocity you talk about, your force, okay, your force, the mass property, okay, all these are physics. So, when we understand what is the basic science, that is very important. You do anything you develop as technology. Okay, whatever you develop. So, it does not mean that you are doing everything and you are superior. So, every technology has a foundation. So, the foundation comes from physics. The foundation for any technology comes from physics. So, anybody who has to develop a technology, you need to understand physics and you need to apply some mathematics, then only you can get the technology. So, the last seminar also I told, is there a significance? You can say whether anything which is significant, science, engineering or technology. You cannot separate each other, okay. You cannot. If for a person to sit, okay, you have flesh, you have bone, you have blood, okay. If you remove flesh, it's only a skeleton. If you remove bone, I am not going to be a person, I am just going to be a snail.
Or if you remove my blood, that's it, finished. What I'm going to do? So, the blood, flesh and bone comprises a full human being. So, that is how you get a technology. You need the science, that is physics, okay, and you need engineering, that is your, what is the knowledge you gain from science and how you apply with mathematics, as Madam rightly pointed about the linear transformation equation, okay, where the control theory has been dealt by this, the Laplace transforms, okay, the Laplace transforms, whatever we need, okay. Then we decide the technology based on the end user, okay. The technology is based on the end user and their affordability. Their affordability, which is very important, because I am presenting in front of a laptop, there are people who is sitting, which I am not known from here, they are using smartphones. So the smartphone, the minimum, by and large, now it is going to be 3,500 with the lower end configuration. If you want to go for an high end configuration, the same technology, you can give it for 45,000 rupees, where it is going to be Apple. Because the people think of, sometimes they think of the brand, they will not think of what we are going to gain, okay. So this is how the technology is coming, okay. Then we are going to just give an introduction about sensor and transducer, because without a sensor and transducer, we are not going to realize what is going to be the output we are going to get, okay. A sensor, see, the human beings are having many sensors, okay, okay. You can feel the temperature, you can feel the temperature, okay. So, what is the body temperature? The body temperature is going to be 37.8. So, if you are running out of temperature, means you are going to feel the heat, and you are going to reduce with the temperature, you are going to see the cold. And the COVID condition, now they are testing the body temperature, it should be beyond 35. Even it is below 35, you will be asked to go and check your body, okay. You have to be screened, and you have to be in a stress for 3 days now, okay. Previously, if you go for a flu or any normal fever, what the doctor will give? The doctor will give a paracetamol, that's it, end of the day. But now, the people are under stress for 3 days. The people are under stress for more than 3 days, at least 2 nights, 3 days and 2 nights, okay. Whether we are going to have the temperature or not. So, how this is going to be done? This is going to be done by the technology, okay. The sensors we have, okay, and the transducer, sensor, what is the basic difference between transducer and sensor is, sensor will convert the input signal, whatever the analog input signal, it may be the temperature, it may be the light source, it will make it as equivalent electrical signal, that's it. But transducer will transform into the equivalent energy source what is required, okay. You can control the room heating or cooling, okay. So that way the transducer makes a very big application. Then finally we are going to see in the session application of industrial automation. I am going to just give 3 applications. One is our washing machine, the other is going to be automatic teller machine, then finally it is going to be the robot, okay. Then we are going to see the reference on the end note, okay. So now, as I told you, physics is going to be the natural science which is available on earth from the existence. You go to BCs. So now only we coined because of our scientists, okay. We are very grateful and thankful to the scientists, because you want to understand the force means normally
The first person to come in is Dr. Sir Isaac Newton. Okay? So just by apples were falling, even before in the BCs apples were falling. But the guy, he has decided, okay, something is behind. Okay? The mass with the gravity is force. So based on that, the theory has been formulated. And he gave three things. One is static friction, or we can say uniform motion. Then the force, which is mass times the acceleration, or the weight, mass times g. And finally he gave us, the one more is the force and its equivalent opposite reaction force. Okay? So this is the basic of physics. Just I don't want to go into the much about it. And what are the terms we are taking into the automation? The time, light, acoustics, I've already told you before. The mass. Mass is very important property when you design any product. Okay? For example, if I want to manufacture a steel, okay, I need to have 12 meters length of a rod for roofing roofing concrete in the building. So what should be there? It has a diameter, definite diameter and the length. So when you have a definite diameter and the length, so it has the volume. So naturally, when you have the density, you are going to see the mass. So you need to